show. J. Rush, General Jenkins, Jaime and Cook. From Unionville and C, gonna take a look down the rabbit hole where the truth unfolds. Down the rabbit hole where the story's told. Down the rabbit hole with J. Rush and the crew. Down the rabbit hole, we're waiting for you.
Welcome on in to Down the Rabbit Hole podcast. You're in with us live this Sunday. We're coming in here. I got the original panel back in the seat, guys. Welcome in.
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
Good.
We're in here today. We're talking about, yet again, they've tried to kill Trump again. Second attempt on Trump. We had the debate last week. We had to come in here and get on this debate quick, man, while it's hot. I couldn't believe how lopsided this thing was. I saw some memes this week of 3-on-1, and that's basically what I saw. So just curious, what's y'all's takeaway from that debate?
Honestly, it was like the last time Trump was up there. Same thing. You know, the commentators didn't seem to fact check anything the other side said, only what Trump said. They kind of picking on him up there. I mean, thank God he's got tough skin and it didn't bother him, but they were doing the same thing they did last time. No different.
How do you fact check what he said that quick? Like literally, like as soon as he said it, so Mr. Trump, we've looked into that, and then literally.
Yeah, I like how it's like, well, we spoke with the mayor. I'm like, who did?
Yeah,
How'd you even know? How'd you even?
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, hang on. I love the guy. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Like that is iconic. That will live in infamy.
Have you seen the little music video?
We may need to pause.
Yeah.
We may need to pause right there and check this out.
You got it?
Yeah, I got
Oh
something.
yeah.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Is that what you were talking about?
They're eating the pets.
Is that what you meant?
I've seen another one where there's dancing
They're
cats
eating
all
the
around.
dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs.
I haven't seen this one.
You ain't seen that?
They're eating the cats.
That's good stuff. Yeah, that's going to go down in history forever. Honestly.
But you want to know, the thing is, there's truth to it. But the other thing is, it brought attention to the 21,000 Haitians that are dropped in Springfield, Ohio.
That's pretty far.
Nobody
north.
would even know in that. There's 20,000 Haitians that are supposedly legal because they said they're legal. They got a immunity.
But what about this?
That's crazy.
There are reports of cats being eaten.
They're carrying ducks
you know
from
why?
Yeah.
It's because they practice voodoo in Haiti. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think that's like their number one.
Is that why they're doing it? It's
Yeah.
not because they're just starving hungry.
No, they practice. They're using the animals for sacrifice.
I did not know that.
Part of it is once you sacrifice the animal, if after you eat it, it gives you more power if you consume the animal. Yeah,
Wow. I
Yeah,
did see
voodoo's
reports
some
of them
crazy stuff.
walking down. There was a report of 2 of them walking down the street with dead geese. Yeah. And a bunch of geese had disappeared
Well,
from
some
this
of it
pond.
is,
I thought, what the hell?
them eating it, but I mean, a lot of it is ritual sacrifice.
So here it is, substantiated reports of it transpiring, and then they're sitting there looking at him, laughing at him for even saying it.
Nobody else was going to say it.
Go to Haiti and see how many stray cats and dogs are walking around.
None.
I mean,
and
really.
you know, there's another thing talking about like other countries. Cannibalism is still practiced in certain parts of the world. Okay, like slavery is still a thing in certain parts of the country. Like that, we don't have people that eat animals.
Yeah.
Nah, they're out there.
Let's talk about these earpieces, man. And they've put out a lot of effort into making anybody who thinks that those Nova H1 earpieces were not what we think they were. They've put so much effort into that it makes me think they were. Because at first I was like, well, she wouldn't really have time to listen to somebody, but I mean, she did good. She performed good. But she's telling a bunch of lies and cackling and the old smooth talking.
Well, the same thing happened last time with Biden and Trump. They had pictures of Biden with earpieces in.
Have you seen the Nova H1?
I've
and
seen it.
so somebody came out and was like, oh, that's a Tiffany G53 earring. And I'm like, oh, so you know exactly what earring it is?
I don't know Tiffany, so I don't know
It
much
just
about her
surprises me
jewelry.
if they were going to use something like that, why they wouldn't use an earwig.
I think
Instead of
there's higher. I
having
think there's
something
higher levels.
so
Yeah,
blatant.
I think there's higher. And
Unless that was used for distraction, though, like get you talking about that while there's actually something down in her ear.
like one of the moderators was her sorority sister, or she had the questions like a week. Like what are we really distracting you from?
Well, Donna Brazel was hired by ABC, and she busted. She was the lady that gave Clinton the questions and all that stuff back in 2016.
Is that the woman that gave him the mean eye? Like, there's been no late-term abortions in any state. And in turn, I'm like, damn, she was obviously not neutral by any means. That's not her?
No.
Okay. Do you know who I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, you're talking about one of the moderators?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
She
her
was
name, but yeah.
obviously not neutral. The whole thing was biased.
Oh, yeah,
Big
absolutely.
time. But on these H1, though, real quick, just check this out here. If you hadn't seen this, have a look here. All right. So you see what they look like in comparison to what she had. You don't think it's possible? It's just unlikely?
Yeah, it's plausible. I
mean, it's possible. I don't.
I find it harder to believe that there's not better technology out there than a pair of earrings.
Yeah.
You know, like they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? That's it. Let's get those.
Either way, I still think Trump did good, and that's what blew me away.
Oh yeah.
2 days later, I'm still the stories were just swirling. Kamala mops the floor, and I'm like, what are y'all even talking about?
Yep, you see that on social media too. You start talking about Kamala, and people immediately they're like, well, she's going to fix everything on day one. And if you say, why hasn't she done anything in the last 3.5 years? And they're like, well, she's just the vice president. They discredit her and disrespect her by saying that, because the vice president has the power. You're supposed to be the voice of reason in the president's ear.
What about the 31 tie-breaking votes that she cast to pass a lot of legislation in the last 3.5 years? So did she or didn't she have an influence on how this administration? And the other thing, what about the Inflation Reduction Act? The Inflation Reduction Act had nothing to do with inflation. That, if you want to read into something, that had more to do with giving money. They bought they're buying an airplane. They're giving money for like these grant programs and all this other stuff. It had nothing to do with inflation.
Let's jump to another clip real fast right here. I want y'all to respond to this.
And we must renew the assault weapons ban.
There you go.
You know, an assault weapon, like many things, there's a design. There's a purposeful design. Well, for the assault weapon, the design is to kill a lot of human beings quickly.
Exactly.
What a bunch of nonsense.
And
what a bunch of
we
nonsense,
mowed our yard, because I come from a middle class family,
Yeah.
and the clouds are the clouds, and if what has been undone cannot be undone.
I'd like to know when you buy a nice new AR and it comes with your little manual.
Yeah.
Where in there does it say designed to kill multiple humans very quickly?
I never got a manual when I met that dude at Walmart, and just gave him $300.
Well, let me ask
That
you a
was
question.
awesome. Like, that's how it works.
Do you have an assault rifle?
Yeah, multiple.
And how many humans have you killed with
Well,
it?
I don't know. What is an assault rifle? I have rifles. I don't know.
I have a semi-automatic.
According to her, an assault rifle. So let me ask you this. When you buy a gun, does she not realize that people like guns for sport? Mm-hmm. To go out and relieve some stress, shoot some targets, to hunt actual animals.
What about collect?
But see,
Collect, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, firearms are a huge collectible.
Big, yeah.
but what they'll do is they'll say, if you want to do it for sport, like you're saying, we'll give you a 5-round magazine.
5 rounds? I don't think you'll get 5.
They have like 10, 5 and 10.
They won't want to give you 5, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
Just give you all the, we're going to be pellet loading this stuff, gunpowder load.
For them to control it, all they really have to control is the ammunition.
Which they do.
Yeah, do they really? I didn't know that. I bought mine way ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't go to Walmart and get like, I want 200 rounds of 5.56 green tip.
If they have it,
you got to show ID for that.
I think so. Yeah.
Why?
They control it through what's allocated to the military. They control it through what the gun ammunition manufacturers can produce, and the government says, okay, we're going to take 10,000 of those 15,000 rounds, and the 5,000 goes to the public. Whenever there was an ammo shortage, like 22, that's one of the main training rounds for like high-level government agencies. The ammo was going to, it was during COVID when everything was kind of shut down, plants weren't running. The ammo was being allocated to the government first, and the public was just going without. So can they manipulate the ammunition market? Yeah.
So at what point do people just admit, because there's so much regulation, it's insane. When will people just admit that we're not a free country anymore? Will everybody just finally say it? Or do they still think, oh, yeah, well, no. I can go outside if I want to?
Yeah.
Freedom's subjective to the individual.
Not to me. Not to
oh,
me.
Man, we hours.
Yeah. I'll bring up my old steak analogy. You know, you've seen the picture of 6 and 7 different steaks, but freedom is like black and white. There's no middle, and everybody that wants to have all the middle ones are pretending that they're whichever color they want to be.
You're either rare or well done, but
yeah.
Everybody wants medium rare.
I like freedom. A lot of people don't like freedom. When I was a kid, I always wondered, who wouldn't like freedom? And you think, why would you even have to fight for that? Everybody wants it, and then when you get older, you're like, oh, people don't really like freedom too much. It's too scary.
Yeah, people like to be told what to do. They like a set schedule, and you know, I don't got to make too many decisions. If I wake up in the day and, you know, you're telling me what to do, I'll just do that then and then go home at the end of the day.
So in classic Democrat theory, they immediately jumped into race in the debate. I mean, you know, because I really don't think Trump is racist at all. I really don't. You can tell when he talks about it. And I got a clip here where they tried to get him, and you could tell he slightly got flustered. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. He's like, he was saying, and he realized he said something, and he goes, and I'll say that. And I was thinking, why would you? That means in his mind he thought, did I mess up? But I didn't. But just check this out and see if y'all catch what I caught.
Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something, I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But
She
those were
looks
your
like she's
words.
loving
I'm
it.
I don't know. I mean,
She's
all I
liking
can
it.
say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
I'm going to tell you right now, the only one that's keeping them divided.
The fact she said that.
Oh, God.
The fact that she.
Oh, yeah.
The only one
Come
that's
on.
keeping race alive.
Yeah. It's
The only one.
y'all.
Let's go back. Let's go back to, what was it, 2020, all right?
Yeah.
And how many of the left side, how many times did they try to bring up and say that Trump was racist? And now at this point, he wasn't saying anything about race at all. So they were bringing it up. They were talking, you know, I mean, he has pictures with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson back in the day. They loved him. They donated to him. He donated to their causes. You know, he put that one lady up in his hotel who basically was squatting in the hotel.
Right.
And if he would come, oh, you're black, you got to get out of here. No, he like let her keep living there, gave her a job. You know, he's donated to when you see the, you know, a tragic event and maybe a young black kid gets killed, you know, for whatever reason, wasn't his fault. He's donated to them. I don't see it. I mean, I see more that I still remember the stuff that Biden in 2020 they were posting, and he's, you know, I don't want my kids in a jungle, you know, like basically he still wanted schools segregated. Jungle. Yeah, racial jungle is what he said. He wanted schools segregated. And then, you know, oh, you know, your black kids can be as smart as the white kids. Really?
Yeah, now
you
who's
know,
racist?
Obama was the first clean, articulated black person or black man.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not racist.
No.
Oh, of course not.
No.
A
Not
Democrat
from the
said it.
left.
The debate, though, was definitely biased. Pretty sure anybody who's leaning right could see it, and everybody who's leaning left was loving it. You know, it's kind of like when the Panthers is 0-50, and, you know, the 49ers are loving it. And that's how I felt about it. I was like, she didn't mop the floor with him. I thought he did actually pretty well, don't you?
She didn't come close. No, the thing about Trump is he's got this level of sarcasm to him. He's highly intelligent, and he also will talk about 3 or 4 different things at one time, which he started calling out more because they're trying to say that he's cognitive and all this. But if you listen to the man and you understand how he speaks, that debate was night and day difference between the two candidates.
Yeah.
And even with the two moderators trying to pile in on him at times, Trump killed the debate. And then the other thing too is now he won't do a second debate with Kamala.
Yeah, he's already done 2.
Well, the thing was, he said, we're already voting. What are we going to debate?
Yeah.
We're already voting.
I agree with that.
You know?
But they're going to make a big to-do out of that. But they were asking her to debate for a long time, and she wouldn't ever respond. You remember that? So
they're
now
trying to keep momentum going because she's not captivating enough. Trump is literally like when he speaks, people listen even if they don't like him. Kamala's not captivating enough. She doesn't have the charisma. She doesn't have the intellect. She doesn't have the speaking skills. Tim Walz is way better speaker than she is. Okay.
Right.
The vice presidential debate is going to be a good one. I think that one's going to be fireworks on both sides
I
this
hadn't even
week.
thought about that. Oh,
But-
that's going to be good.
So the thing is, literally after the debate, Taylor Swift comes out, and that letter, she didn't pin that up while she was watching the debate. That letter had been vetted out. Obviously the campaign said, yeah, it looks good. We'll post it on every social media. So Taylor Swift comes out, boom, stamp of approval. She's already Democrat anyways, if you know that from 2020 election.
I'm surprised they waited that long for her to throw it out.
Well, that was one of their ace up the sleeve, you know.
It's all chess, ain't it?
All the report, Kamala just cleaned house, and then the day after, Jimmy Fallon has an hour-long special on the presidential debate, and it's literally sound bites that are out of context, bashing Trump.
Yeah.
How does all of this just happen?
Yeah, and then the thing with Oprah, the sit down with Oprah. Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't watch it. I know about it. Did I watch it? No, I couldn't.
Oh.
Nah, I didn't.
Man.
I tell you, I watch everything. I didn't even watch
You're
that
seeing
one.
a mass production of media hysteria, throwing everything that they have against the wall, and I mean everything. There's more coming
because they're trying to keep the momentum behind her. Because what happens is people will come out and they'll say, yeah. And then a week later, it won't even be important. So they know that they've got to keep pushing her all the way to the election.
Well, you know, on Taylor Swift, and y'all might disagree, but she probably makes a 1% difference.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people a lot of Americans that are just crazed.
Yeah.
Whatever she says, I'm for it too. Woman.
This is how crazy it is with Taylor Swift alone. They had that the football Hall of Fame video shots, right? Showing all the players. They did not show Lamar Jackson, not one time, who was the actual MVP last season.
Really?
But they showed Taylor Swift how many times, you think?
Why did they not show Lamar Jackson?
5 times.
Oh, he's not as
They
relevant.
were showing, clips of players doing, great plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson, who was the MVP, didn't appear once, but Taylor Swift appeared 5 times in that video.
It's hysteria, man.
Well, at the same time, though, that's what they're going to use. They're going to use somebody that is going to get, the attention or the ratings. So it's not really hard to understand why they're using Taylor Swift.
Right.
Like, she made football popular again last year when she showed up at a Kansas City game. So they knew why they were going for her. She was just the one. If it would have been, bubblegum lollipop, that would have been the one that came out the night of the debate and said, I endorse Kamala Harris. It was just, she's just she's the head.
So, again, I think Trump really did well. He was thinking off his feet. And I got a clip here from the debate. I wanted y'all to hash this out right here. Check this out.
I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled.
I like the way he says, they respect your president. He's talking about himself.
Yeah.
I love that. He's got such authority. He did good in the debate. I don't know why every news outlet said, I mean, it was all over the place. Facebook, TikTok, everything was going crazy.
Because they're all propaganda. If people can't realize that at this point, I don't know what's wrong with them.
But the thing is, it works. There's people out there that are just eating it up.
Oh, yeah. That's the scary part, is how easy it is to show out of context clips with no backstory. You're not hearing the whole thing. You're just seeing the one part, and it seems like Trump's being crazy or whatever. And you push that out there, and the 80% of people that didn't watch the debate, that's how they watch the debate on their favorite, outlet, whatever they go through, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And they watch these videos. And
Nightly news.
they don't need to see the whole debate and see how it actually was. They just see the clips and are like, oh yeah, Trump got smashed.
And that's the problem with a lot of the people that are against him. They've never took the time to listen to one of his hour-plus long rallies or even watch the debate, or they're so swayed already that they watch the debate, and the only thing they take away from it is they're eating the cats, and that's it. So in a way that actually helped, because that, I feel like that overshadowed anything else that could have been going against him in the debate.
Right.
Like, even though they tried to throw the race card at him, they tried to throw this at him, the women's rights, the abortion, they tried to throw all the stuff at him. Really, he kind of neutralized every other thing in that debate with that eating the cats deal. Now, somebody that's educated, that's listening to it, and I say educated politically, like they're already in the know, they're going to take more away from that than that. But somebody that doesn't really know much about what's going on in the race between the candidates, they're going to hear that as, it's like.
Hey, Jaime, what do you think about when Kamala said that everybody is getting bored at Trump rallies and leaving early?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh, they're turning around.
Did you see where she said that?
Yeah.
She's smoking crack, probably.
It's slam-packed stadiums, people waiting for hours all day long to get in there.
Yeah,
if they're leaving, they can't get in.
They have to bus her audience in.
I love how he called her out on that.
Yeah,
called her out on that.
They had
Or CGI the people in the crowd,
where they had she had a rally last week or week before last here in North Carolina, and only 600 were from North Carolina out of that whole crowd.
Wow.
Yeah, and they can prove it through cell phone data and just videos of people getting off of the buses. But a lot of the cell phones were from Georgia.
The smoke and mirrors is unparalleled on this election.
I feel like that's why they're being so aggressive, because they know, they know they're out there actually seeing it. And then the thing with Mark Robinson, he's pretty much got North Carolina sewed up because of Trump. They're being this crazy because I think they know it's the complete opposite of what they're telling you. They've got the polls are now, it was 1% Trump, now it's flipped and it's 1% Kamala, but it's too close to decide. I think they know that they're beat, and that is why they're getting so desperate.
Is anybody else getting
Wait
these
a second.
texts?
How desperate have they got? Not once, but twice tried to kill the man. Okay, that's when you want to know why they're getting that desperate to try to literally take out their opponent. They've tried to do it monetarily. They try to do it with the court systems. Nothing sticks. They call him Teflon Don. Nothing sticks to this guy.
That's awesome.
They tried to shoot him twice now.
Yeah, I don't think they're done.
Do you think they're
Not
winning?
done.
If you were winning, would you put that much effort into trying to take out your opponent? If you were ahead by what they say they're ahead?
Is there any chance that the two shooters were just lone gunmen that were mad?
Oh, yeah, man. These guys, they just...
Not.
Nah,
You don't think so? I mean,
second
I don't
guy-
either.
The second guy, I believe. So the
Think so?
first guy, who was in the BlackRock video, then he was at the Kamala, rallies and stuff. Then he all of a sudden registered as Republican and then shot at Trump, a little bit later.
Talking about Matthew Cooks.
The first guy, Matthew Cook, yeah.
Correct.
So the second guy,
You don't want that on there, do you? Yeah, not
He was
me.
also in a BlackRock video.
Hey, I'm not the one who voted for Obama around here, so
yeah.
They're both in BlackRock videos.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Both of them are.
Right, but the second guy was a lifelong Democrat.
Ryan, what was his name? Ryan Roushey or something? Something like
Yeah,
that?
Ryan Wesley Routh.
Yeah, he I think he was more just trying to get it done. And I think the Democrats are mad at him because he didn't switch his vote to Republican right before he did that.
Oh, yeah.
You do know that he was interviewed by the New York Times. Yeah, you might do some reading on that guy. He was no just lone wolf, and I was being completely sarcastic whenever you said, "Do you think these are, And I was like, "Oh no, these guys just fell out of thin blue air." No, there's connections. This last one, how does he find out that Trump's at a golf course?
Really?
And it was not a plan. Trump's like, "Hey, I want to go play golf," and so they go, "Okay," and they get.
They
the
don't
detail.
broadcast that out.
They don't broadcast it. He came from Hawaii.
Oh, he came from Hawaii?
Yeah, he was living in Hawaii. Yeah, he's been in Hawaii for like 3 years.
And he used to live in Greensboro.
with a real bad past,
He
to what
was,
they say.
He spent time in prison here
Yeah.
somewhere.
He was behind on his
He's a
child
roofer
support.
also.
Yeah.
Okay, like to the point
wait,
where
I'm a
his
roofer. He's a roofer.
wife or ex-wife that he was behind on was going to drop it. Okay, how he's not in jail at this point is beyond me. So he sells his house here in North Carolina for like $100,000, and when he moves to Hawaii, he's in an $800,000 house.
He's living on some of that Oprah land.
So why can't we trace the money?
Well, there
I mean, there's got to be a trace.
he was.
BlackRock. I mean, that's the immediate connection.
Well, they should have got somebody with some more skills. Because did he even get a shot off?
No.
We don't really know, do we?
They caught him.
They saw the barrel in the grass, and so they got him before Trump.
So
got
why
I
is there
have
not like?
questions on that?
Why is there not drones with thermal imaging and all kind of stuff?
Because he's not the current president. That's
Yeah.
what they said. But I have questions on that. Like this guy props up sticks a gun through a fence, and the Secret Service rolls up on it, and they engaged. They started shooting at him. When have you ever known law enforcement to just open fire on a gun in the woods? Like they
Yeah,
didn't.
really.
How did they know who it was? Nothing. Did they? Hey, put down the gun. They just said Secret Service was going a hole ahead of Trump, and they noticed a gun and opened fire. What?
The distance changed too. It was like 700 feet or yards, and then it went to 300 yards
Yeah.
later.
But
So he abandoned the gun.
Suspect
What's-
runs, jumps out of the woods, and some lady tails him and gets a picture of the license plate. It's the whole thing suspect. Here's one. I was looking into your whistleblower.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to jump to whistleblower yet.
Let's go. What's up?
So I was looking into the whistleblower thing on the Trump assassination attempt, and it's really the whistleblowers, like some Republican congressman from another state.
Josh Hawley. I've
yeah.
actually got his report. I can,
But his report is of the whistleblower, so you don't know. The whistleblower hasn't been identified at this point.
He's
But
anonymous.
it's more than one. No, it's more than one.
Are they
It's-
active Secret Service?
It's Secret Service, Homeland Security.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's multiple. He's the one that just brought the 22-page report forward. So in a sense, he's the whistleblower, but these are all from these unknown characters, right? Looking into that, I stumbled into the FBI director in Florida who got put in that detail, which happens to be in Trump's region of Florida. This guy had been very vocal anti-Trump. They made him take the stuff down. So the guy that currently, Secret Service or FBI, the current FBI director down there, who would have been in the know on any of this stuff, going back to how did the guy find out, he's an anti-Trumper. So there's your leak.
Well,
He should
I've
be
also heard
disqualified.
He shouldn't
could have
even
been
be-
Lindsey Graham.
Huh?
It could have been Lindsey Graham.
You think Lindsey Graham's trying to take Trump out?
Well, I mean, he's a fucking war hawk. Hell yeah. Yeah. I don't
Interesting.
trust him no further than I could throw his fat ass.
That ain't far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for real.
if that guy has anti-Trump stuff up, then he should be disqualified immediately.
Well, they made him scrub it, but the fact is,
Yeah,
that
but you
it's-
still think it.
Yes, scrub it.
Yeah.
It did scrub it
Okay.
out of here.
you can't. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna like even a jury, they'll throw you out of being on the jury for any little thing.
Right.
But you're in charge of Trump, even though we know you hate him. Just take the post down. That makes no sense to me. That's
No,
crazy.
it's scary, man. I would be scared to death to be running for as president.
So-
on the Republican side, you got to look at all the assassination attempts. What has it been, like 7 of them or something?
On Trump?
On presidents in general.
There's been a bunch of plots. I
7,
looked
8,
into
or
it.
9
Yeah,
attempts.
but actual
they
attempts.
got what 3 or 4 of them, and 3 of the 4 were Republican, and the majority of the attempts are on Republican.
It's always the party of
candidates.
hate that
Yeah.
wants to kill you.
Right, it's
saying.
the ones wanting to ban the guns.
Check this out. Though. Yeah, I know.
And they're killing all the people. You know,
But we're shipping guns by the millions to other countries.
Why don't we just make it illegal for Democrats to own guns?
yeah. If they don't like them so much, just
There
step
you go.
away from your right.
Problem solved.
Wait, you mean you don't have to buy a gun if you don't like a gun?
Just go to Walmart parking lot. And so
$300 is a deal, actually. I head
Didn't-
over there after the show.
yeah, didn't the I ain't got all the numbers on it. Just
So I
kidding.
don't care.
Yeah, didn't the so the attempt happened on the 15th,
Undocumented.
right? September 15th was when the attempt on him happened, right?
Oh, this last one. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So 4 days before that, did you see the Time magazine cover?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't see it?
No.
Yeah.
Look
it's
at this. Look at this.
The golf cart in San Trump.
it's him stuck.
4 days
in
before.
trouble. Yeah.
In trouble.
Yeah. Ain't that wild?
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's almost like subliminal. Could mean nothing, but I mean, wow.
Very
You know,
coincidental.
there's so many coincidences, if they want to call them that,
Yeah.
that it's just like, come on, man. Most of this shit is not a coincidence. You know what I mean? I mean, everything can't coincidentally happen. You know, the Simpsons can't coincidentally predict all this stuff in their cartoon show. Which, that's a weird thing in itself.
You don't know what's crazy?
They're already doing it for Kamala. There's an episode where, oh yeah, you didn't know that?
A Simpsons episode?
Yeah, it's got a woman on there wearing purple.
yeah.
She's wearing purple with the dots and
turtleneck.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if they're going to be wrong, I hope now's the time. Yeah.
I just find it crazy that there's this much animosity and hate for the man. Like, I don't understand where it's coming from. Like, why are people so riled up about this guy? Like, it's almost like people are telling them that they should be angry at this guy. I don't know. I can't put the
That's
two and
what
two together.
They're doing,
This is the sarcasm
in a
part.
sense, I can understand why some people would hate Trump if all you see is the out of context clips on Facebook. Then you're gonna be like, this guy's a psychopath.
Right.
You know, they don't even care about, you know, the economy and how it was during his, you know, all they want to bring up is how it happened the last couple months, you know, when COVID happened. Like, that wasn't his fault. And first off, they got mad because he was trying to stop all traffic. And they were like, no, you can't do that.
Xenophobe.
So then he let it go. And they're like, you let everybody travel. Like, make up your mind, you know?
He was a xenophobe because he didn't want people coming in from other countries that were known hotspots. And he was
Correct,
trying to limit the travel. And he's xenophobic. He's saying this group of people can't come. No, he's saying that there's a major epidemic going over there. Like, we should probably figure this out before we open the travel back up.
All they're doing and all they've been doing the last few elections is trying to get you to focus on what they say the person is doing bad. They want you to not vote for the party or their politics or what they're going to do in their term. They want you to vote against the person they don't like. Mm-hmm. And that's the end of it. Like, we don't care about the stats and all this stuff. Just, this guy said this, you can't vote for him.
This isn't the homecoming election. That, you know, we're not voting for the most popular and the most prettiest. We're voting for the person that's going to get shit done. Right. And there's only one person running that's not only said but done. And he said, I'm going to do it again.
Right.
It ain't Kamala.
So let me start this clip off by disclaiming that this was AI. But just listen to this. I've been laughing pretty hard about this. Check this out.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
I mean,
Man,
that sounds like the stuff that she says. It's like,
it's believable.
it's a bunch of mumbling nonsense.
You in context, when you watch her stuff, you can't find a clip where she actually answers a question the interviewer or whoever's talking to her asks her. They're like, what do you think about, you know, the economy and the inflation? Well, I grew up in a middle-class family and we had to cut our own grass. No, but the question.
Have you seen her portfolio, though? Like her real estate portfolio?
Nah, she got money.
Like, I know that a lot of them guys are like pretty lavish, but it's beyond absurd. Look into it.
Okay.
Yeah, look into it. You'd be like, wow. Yeah, so middle class, whatever. I don't know if she even what.
She's not middle class.
No.
Her parents were professors at colleges. I don't know any middle class person that is a professor at a college. And
Yeah.
They debunked her working at McDonald's too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She lied about that?
Yeah, she lied
Yeah.
about
I
working
probably
at
filled out
McDonald's.
an application there one time.
Could
She's
you
like, "That's
see
good
Kamala
enough."
in there like flipping a bird? Like,
Did you see Trump? He was talking about, she said she worked at McDonald's and it was so hot and them fries. Oh, it's so hot. And he was smoking her bag. I was loving it. You know, he's not afraid to go for the jugular. That's what I like about him. He's got it where it counts.
Right, and he's right. That kind of attitude you present is the reason why Putin waited till Biden was in office to attack Ukraine. He wouldn't have done that if Trump would have ran again. Now the only problem is if Trump would have ran twice in a row, he'd be doing it eventually. But you know, we wouldn't have done it. We wouldn't have sent them $1 billion or how much ever we've sent Ukraine.
They're voting to pass a $37 million or $1 billion bill right now for Ukraine. Like,
And
what's it disguised as? What's that bill disguised as? It's probably something else, you know. And
it's a humanitarian aid and support and all that, but it's a shit ton of weapons, cash, and the other thing is, you know, Biden has been linked to corruption with Ukraine, right?
Correct.
So now that he's president, we're literally just funneling them money in the guise of support for the supporting our ally.
Aid.
But the left will be quick to say that Republicans start and cause and drag out wars, and Democrats try to end them. How many wars was there during Trump's? I can't remember. Oh yeah, I thought it was a pretty low number.
Yeah.
So how many have we had in Biden's term? At least two or three.
Probably gonna. Yeah.
So I got to looking into Kamala a little bit because I really don't pay her a lot of attention. She's just a mouth. But do you know what her middle name is? Does anybody know what it is?
No, that's a good one.
It's one letter away from devil. Devi.
DEVI?
Kamala Devi Harris. Then you start looking up, what is Kamala? You ever heard of a Kamala? No. Look at this. All right, first of all, so right here, there's her name. It almost spells devil.
Yeah.
All right. Now look at this. Devi is a Sanskrit word that means goddess. It's used for a title of a married woman in India. So anyway, you keep...
Wait.
What?
I mean, that's not far-fetched. She's Indian.
Oh, yeah, now she is. All right, so let's keep going. Kamala is the most benign and benevolent form of a goddess. The more I got to reading about this, it's a laughing goddess. Did you know that? Laughing. A laughing goddess. Then you start reading, there's like some biblical terms I got to looking into. This right here. Look at this. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls and having a golden cup in her hand. I'm wondering if the golden cup is the Bible, but look.
Full of abominations.
Look, when you look her up, look at the color. Look at that.
Yeah, it's always purple.
Yeah, with the pearls and even the Simpsons thing.
Yep.
Go back to that. Full of abominations.
Right there. Well, you know, she's been on her knees doing everything she can to get where she's at.
Full of abominations and what's that? Filthiness?
Yeah, of her fornication.
Yeah.
The good old laughing goddess.
Deep stuff there.
So
look at this.
Her
Look at
name
this.
is Devil or Goddess.
Goddess.
Which, I mean, a devil could be a goddess, just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if it's the herald of hell? Who knows? But I'm just...
My wife's pastor seems to think she's operating under the Jezebel spirit.
This election has got the biggest ramification, and they say this every time, but this one is for real.
Well, it's bigger than past elections because we knew what we were up against. They've actually got some momentum. Like, you can see the tide has shifted. And that's what they've been pushing and breaking down that stuff. And you got CRT and all the stuff they're pumping into the schools all the way down to the public education system. Like, if you want to go to college and take a class on whatever it is, fine. You paid to be there. You're an adult-ish. But pushing that stuff into the public schools down to the elementary school, completely not okay.
No.
But they've got some momentum. And it shows because they went and 14 million people voted for a guy that they just held their nose. They knew the guy wasn't all there. And they said, all right, he's out and she's in. And they were like, yeah.
Yep.
Well, you didn't vote for her. Well, I'm okay with the government taking my vote and giving it. I voted for you. But they said, you're not any good anymore. And we're going to put Jason in. And I didn't really like Jason. But you know what?
Yeah.
Man, Jason's a hell of a guy. Let's go, Jason.
Democracy. They tout democracy so much, but they didn't even benefit from it.
Crazy.
Which we're supposed to be a republic anyway.
Crazy. 14. Do you know what would happen in the Republican Party if they took Trump and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to run Trump. We're going to put Jimmy in.
Oh, yeah.
What?
There's a whole sequence that's supposed to happen.
What? What if they did that? Let's hypothetically say that was Mike Pence. Now, you didn't know what you know about Mike Pence now, but
I hate that guy.
But say they took Trump and they're like, oh well, Trump's not doing too good. We're going to put Mike Pence in. You think the Republicans would just be like, yeah?
Yeah, they're supposed to be
Hell
a
no.
whole. They're supposed to elect who they want to put forward.
Not the Democrat Party.
They're avoiding the due process of everything, you know.
They've dumped all their campaign money into the to the media stuff, the celebrity stuff. They went all in. They showed, dude. They pushed all in with Kamala. When they pushed Biden out of the way, it was kind of like, I don't know what they're going to do, man. They're going to go with Kamala. I don't know. Well, then she caught just a little bit of traction, and they were like, all the chips.
I just don't think that they're done trying to shoot at him.
Oh no,
Just think what would happen if they were successful.
That's why I think they know that they try to say that the numbers are close, but they're not as close as they say. I think they know they're in real danger.
Well,
They
are we
haven't
like
asked me.
what
Did
we-
they ask you?
who?
They
Oh,
poll you?
I get a million texts all week, and I always type back a real scathing thing back to them, and then they, thank you for your response.
Oh, you get texts from the Democrats?
Oh yeah.
No. I meant the poll. Who are they asking? Where are these?
It tells
They
me to
never
like.
asked me.
It tells me to push 1 for Trump and 2 for
Oh, okay,
Kamala,
okay.
and then it says a bunch of other
Do
stuff.
they give you an option for Joe? Can you still push 3 for Joe? or-
I just cuss a whole bunch and hit send back about why I want to keep my money and for y'all to leave me the hell alone. All right, I got one more clip and then we'll get ready to wrap this thing up. Though, check this out. Y'all should love this. Y'all probably seen this.
I'm going to come.
Do not come.
Oh yeah.
Do not come.
I'm going to do it.
No. I'm not finished.
I don't care who you are. That's funny.
I've seen a different version, but yeah, I'm gonna come.
The ride of what's going on is just so insane right now, man. It is so much to take,
Everything as serious as it is, to still have some, a sense of
Exactly.
humor in this.
Got to.
Is I wonder if the other side is doing the same
No.
thing. I wonder if they're over there looking at that and they're like, oh, that's pretty funny, like it.
You're talking about, you don't think it'll be the last time? Matt Gaetz had someone come into his office, I believe it was Thursday, and say that there are 5 assassination teams.
And 3 are foreign.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
the
there's-
United States right now. And there's suspected to have ground-to-air missiles. So I caught a little bit of the Trump rally yesterday where he's coming into Wilmington in his airplane. And they're sitting there filming it because they're at the airport, and that's
You think they'll
like
just
part
try to
of
take
it.
the plane down?
Yeah, I was
a
wondering,
bigger
sitting there
swing at
wondering,
it?
like, am I about to watch this thing blow up? Like,
Bro, all they'd have to do is
it's
get the
really
intel.
Scary. But the other thing, the comment I made about Lindsey Graham, he was supposed to be at the golf course with Trump that morning and called out at the last minute. Couldn't make it.
I mean, there's a mole somewhere.
I've never liked that guy anyway. Him and
I don't
McCain, I
trust
never
him
did like
at all.
McCain either. Mitt Romney was kind of questionable. A bunch of them
Rhinos.
Republicans. That's the
They're
problem
all
with
right.
Republicans.
They're all
rhinos.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're all like. That's why Trump's got so far because all the rest of them are just halfway.
They're
like
rhinos.
they're like those middle state guys that you like.
Rhinos.
Yeah,
They're called rhinos.
I just call them punk asses.
Government.
I call them cuss asses. That's always a good time up in here on a nice Sunday.
We appreciate you all tuning in this week. Hit us up if you have a topic you would like to hear us discuss, or if you're interested in coming onto the show and sitting in with us. We have future episodes planned, such as 9/11, the Anunnaki, UFOs, and many more. Jump on that YouTube channel and be sure to smash that like button, subscribe button, and always remember, the truth is out.
Where the conversations flow, join us on the ride. Let's go, let's go. This week we're talking about the debate. Trump and Kamala, was it fair or hate? Second attempt on the president's life. We dive deep, cut through the strife. Down the rabbit hole, where the truth unfolds. No holding back, no story untold. Down the rabbit hole, where the conversations flow. Join us on the ride, let's go, let's go.